Tony D and Little Joan with a screenwriter's rant on dealing with dad. A movie about a family dealing with a father who's got depression. Excuse me. Smash the like and subscribe. Thank you for smash liking and subscribing, Little Joan. Check out my links in the description. Comedy horror in South Jersey. It's the Pineys. Books 1 through 11 available at Amazon.com. Don't forget, Kindle Unlimited is free. Now, so you've got a sister and two brothers. One still, I think, living with the father, and the other two are on their own, and they all come back because their father's depressed and he won't leave the bedroom. He just watches The View all day. Oof. Ooh, that's not a good sign. And so they want him to take meds, but he won't take them. And basically, it's dealing with a relative, dealing with a family thing, and they don't get along too great, and they're having problems. And here the brothers are fighting, and they're arguing about stuff, and they go back and forth. I mean, it's family drama, but it's kind of funny. It's a low budget thing. Here's the father. He's not happy. It didn't look hilarious, but it looked okay. Like slice of life kind of dramedy kind of thing. With the main character being the sister. Let's see, who wrote this thing? Written and directed by Tommy Huang. It looks decent. I mean, I think it could be okay. I wouldn't put it at the top of my list to watch, but if it was on, I'd watch it. I don't think it's going to get a theatrical release. But I could see it, on video on demand, something like that. Just about the three kids dealing with their father, who's depressed. Maybe he's dying. Maybe he's just depressed about his life. So, and she's really the main character here. She wants to go back to her life, and she has to deal with her brothers and her father, and she doesn't want to. She just wants to go back to her life, whatever. So first act, they get a call, or she gets a call, and I think her boyfriend or her friend says, "Oh, you got to go see your dad. He could be dying. You got to go help him out." She doesn't want to go. Eventually, she calls her brother and says, "If I go, you go." And then she forces him to go as well. And then they both show up, and they're dealing with the other brother, and then they start dealing with the dad, and that's kind of the first act. Second act is them dealing with dad. Dad's depressed. They force him to go to a doctor. The doctor prescribes meds. He won't take them. They don't know what to do. They're worried that maybe he's going to hurt himself or whatever, and he's not well. So other dramas percolate. I think one of the brothers has something. This brother has something going on with a girl, maybe. And family stuff comes to the forefront. Yeah, like this girl. I think he ends up seeing her or whatever. And maybe the dad dies in the third act. I mean, that's possible. There's like a crying scene. I don't know. But I definitely in this kind of movie, there'll be some big revelation. And maybe the father will finally say, "Oh, I love you," or something like that. And gets a little mushy towards the end. But in the lead up to it looks fine. Looks okay. I mean, it doesn't really zing. But, if you like family dramas, I think this will be fairly watchable. I know that's not a strong endorsement when it's fairly watchable, but these days, most movies are so terrible. Fairly watchable is a pretty strong endorsement in my view, especially if you watch things. Like, I don't watch things as much as I used to. I used to watch TV constantly and watch movies constantly. I just don't do it anymore. I'm too busy. I don't have a TV. I watch stuff on the internet here and there, but that's about it. But this is the kind of thing, I don't think it would be a complete waste of your time. It's from Redbox, by the way. I don't know if you have to go to the Redbox to see it. I assume they have some online thing. Is there any Yeah, here's a write up. Margaret Chang reluctantly returns to her hometown along with her hapless brothers to deal with the sudden depression of their jerk of a dad. As it turns out, he's nicer depressed than well, and the siblings wonder if they should even bother, even get him better now that they struggle to find a solution. Well, that's kind of an interesting paradigm, right? Like, but, they still have to worry about him, but now he's being nicer to them. It's kind of interesting. Yeah, I mean, I could see it being a halfway decent movie. It shouldn't be too long. It should be a tight 90, First act, second act, third act, boom, and out. It shouldn't be a long, drawn-out thing, that's for sure. There seems to be some funny moments, some fairly genuine, grounded, funny moments. And it could end a bunch of ways. It could end with the father dying. It could end with the father coming out of the depression. Or it could end with, like, well, we're going to have to, the daughter maybe moves in with him to keep him going. Or it probably ends with some revelation, with the family, either between the siblings or with the father. Maybe both. So it seems fine. I would watch it. I probably wouldn't go out of my way for it, but if it was on and I started watching it, I'd be like, oh, okay. Yeah. Right, Joan? And that's it for me, Tony D and Little Joan. Check us out on Odysee, Bitchute, and Rumble for our more based takes. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for coming out today to the big windy signing in the parking lot of the Monroe Free Public Library in Williamstown, New Jersey. It was the Meet the Authors Book Fest. It went okay. It went okay for me. I sold some stuff. It's just so damn windy. It broke my banner, my old banner, not the new one. I didn't put up the new one. I knew it was too windy. Anyhow, more videos later. We'll see you in the next one.